The dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Northside Hospital. And by Marietta Toyota. It's better in Marietta. Trevor Scales, Peter Moyle, and Brian Jordan take you up to first pitch between the Braves and Brewers here on Hank Aaron Week. Let's take a look at the Brew Crews 1 through 9. Willie Adames talked about him hitting well, but the man right behind him, and Christian Yelich, has 10 runs in the past 7 games, excuse me, Peter.
Yeah, he's heating up a little bit. One guy, when he goes, it's all about his health. His back's been a lot better. He stole a base yesterday, got a couple of knocks, including a home run. He can stay cold for the next 3 days, and he can heat up after that.
Let's take a look at the Braves 1 through 9. Ronald Acuna Jr. back out there in right field to lead things off. But Adam Duvall has found a bit of struggle as of late, but got a sac fly at the very least to get himself going potentially, BJ.
You know what? I always judge a guy after 100 at-bats. He's at 94. He has to continue to keep that front side in. That's where his struggle is. He's pulling off of everything. Hopefully, he'll keep it in and start hitting those curveballs he's getting.
You're going to have to let him know that he's got 6 more bats before you start judging.
Exactly.
You got 6 more, Adam Duvall. Alistair Ryland, take all the time you want. You and that dab pop has been going just fine. We'll be back on the other side.
All over that man right there. Okay, there's national talk that this Braves very right-handed. Well, you can take advantage of a left-handed pitcher right there and get some knocks.
BJ, what you got?
I said 23rd in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. They got to drive in the runs. Put the ball in play. Cut down on strikeouts.
Let them know.
You got 100 at-bats, according to BJ. Just keep that in mind whenever you're up there at the dish. Jim Garrett, Jeff Fred Gordon, Kelly Crawler on the other side. Enjoy some Braves baseball, folks.
Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
We are taking you right up to first pitch between the Milwaukee Brewers and your Atlanta Braves. The final series of this Hank Aaron Week, celebrating the life and legacy of Henry Louis Aaron. Yes, you know the 755 home runs. You know the iconic number 44 that he wore. But above all else, there is also the celebration to be had about his philanthropic efforts and everything else that he brought to the table, including his executive career, bringing in guys like Ron Gant, who will toss out the first pitch for today's game.
Oh my God, that was the worst pitch ever.
BJ can say that. I'm going to kind of lay out.
Come on, that's going to be on videos for years.
Oh my goodness, I'm going down to say something about that one.
Immediately. You probably got to turf him just a little bit for that.
Oh my.
I used to work on Braves Live too. That's just taking the first pitch. What are we doing, Ronnie?
EY trying to console him a little bit.
Oh man, EY got to scoop that ball, man. Come on.
Can't make EY getting there out there, man. We are continuing to take you right up to first pitch here on the celebratory weekend, celebrating the life and legacy of one Henry Louis Aaron. Timothy Miller with your national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Truist Park.
You know, it's a funny thing about baseball. You know, baseball has its ups and downs, but one thing about it is that it somehow has a way of gluing people, bringing people together.
As a little boy growing up in Mobile, Alabama, I dreamed of playing baseball. So I just thought that if I ever get in a position to help other children, regardless to whatever color they may be, and chase their dream, I was going to try to do everything that I possibly could.
Hank Aaron changed the game.
Hank Aaron changed our city.
Hank Aaron changed the world.
Hank Aaron changed the world and showed me that I can too.
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Because of Hank, I will play every game as hard as I can.
Because of Hank, I will do my very best, no matter what.
Because of Hank, I will just keep swinging.
Because of Hank, I will rise above.
I will rise above.
The first man ever to put 3,000 hits and 500 home runs together.
Because of Hank, I know my life matters.
Because of Hank, I know I am strong.
Because of Hank, I know I am powerful.
Because of Hank, I know I am limitless.
You had to do it in order to make things easier for somebody coming behind you, and that's what's the most humbling situation, with the fact that you knew that whatever you did, that tomorrow things were going to be better.
Because of Hank, I can be a Hall of Famer.
Because of Hank, I can hit 800 home runs.
Because of Hank, I can chase my dreams.
Because of Hank, I can change the world.
What a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world.
I felt like my playing in Atlanta had healed some wounds, and I felt like I had done my part.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron.
Thank you, Hank.
Thank you, Hank.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron.
It is so great to be back in Atlanta, where we begin Hank Aaron Week. The Milwaukee Brewers are in town to start a weekend series at Truist Park, where, as always, Braves baseball is presented by our friends at Truist. Austin Riley and the Braves hope to take care of some home cooking. 8 games in 10 days coming up, starting with the high-flying Brew Crew in Game 1 tonight. Hi again, everybody. Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey. Great to be back with you for Braves baseball. It is great to be back with you for Hank Aaron weekend. Big crowds expected all weekend long, and partner that home cooking, something the Braves need to take advantage of. They split 4 games with the first-place New York Mets, and maybe that last game up in New York is the exact springboard this team needs to get going in the Eastern Division.
I felt like Wednesday's day game, we saw some focus from these guys, especially on the offensive side, that they really had an approach. Hopefully they can take this over, because they got a tough little stretch coming up. You got the Brewers for 3 at home. Then you got the Red Sox for 2. After that, you got the Padres, who are playing great baseball. And then, of course, up in Milwaukee, which is a tough place to play. So, honestly, tough schedule, but maybe a good thing. You know, this team, to me, we see tend to rise to the occasion when they have to play some of these better teams. And they're going to need it the next 2 weeks, but what better way than these throwback unis starting tonight?
Yeah, and Jesse Chavez will be the opener for the Braves, facing a red-hot Brewers lineup that is hitting homers at a furious pace. We'll see if the Braves can keep them under control in Game 1. As we begin the weekend, it is the Friday Night Showdown, and it's brought to you, as always, by Kaiser Permanente. Starting lineups and first pitch on a perfect night in Atlanta. We'll get things started right after the break. Afternoon, but the skies are clearing. It's a beautiful night, a breezy night, wind blowing toward the Milwaukee bullpen. And boy, the Brewers have been swinging some hot bats. 20 homers in their last 6 games. Colton Wong leads off Craig Counsell's Toyota starting lineup. Always got to worry about Christian Yelich and Willie Adames. This is a good team. They're in first place in the National League Central, 2.5 games in front of the Cardinals. Jeff, we mentioned Jesse Chavez is the opener for Atlanta in Game 1.
Yeah, I think, look, Brian Snitker's going to try to give him a chance to, get him through 2, maybe into the 3rd inning at some point. But with an off day Monday, off day Thursday, you can really kind of unload the pen. I like the move.
One thing we know about Jesse, he throws strikes. And that'll be helpful on a 75-degree night here in Atlanta. The pitch is taken a little high for Colton Wong. The Brewers have gotten a leadoff homer in each of the last 2 games. So Milwaukee rolling, winners of 5 of their last 6. And that's a little low for the Brewers. Colton Wong hitting .220, a homer, 9 RBIs. Swung through that. Now Austin Riley will move into shallow right into the shift with 2 strikes. 20 homers in 6 games. Yes, they came against the Pirates and the Reds, but those are still major league teams, and you got to respect that, as that's golfed into center field and in for a base hit. Colton Wong aboard with a leadoff single that comes on a 2-2 count and sets it up for Adames.
Yeah, it just leaked back over the plate a little bit too much. Wong didn't necessarily square it up, but got enough to dump it into center. Yeah, I mean, you talk about their bats. They completely just mashed a Cincinnati team for 3 games.
Outscored them 34-12 in 3 games. The Reds 3-22 in the first 25 games. Here's Willy Adames, terrific young electric player. And Jesse delivers a strike. 8 homers, 21 RBIs for Adames. Among all major league shortstops, all of them. Most homers, most RBIs. Braves don't have much of a shift on for him, as Wong leads at first. And Jesse another strike.
Well, the Brewers season pretty much changed last year in May when they got Adames from the Rays, and it really changed their offense. Gave them an everyday shortstop with power.
They were a 95-win team, and the Braves knocked them out in the first round of the playoffs last year. One of the most unforgettable series. Braves shut them out in 2 games, and then Freeman versus Hader, and we all know how that turned out here in Atlanta. Andrew McCutchen, old face in a new place. We last saw him with the Phillies. He's now a Brewer and is their cleanup man tonight. 0-2 for Adames. Lifted toward right. And Acuna and Duvall. It'll be Adam in right center. He makes the grab. Adames is out number 1. Christian Yelich is having a resurgent year. Jeff, before we break down his season, what are your 4 keys tonight?
Well, look, piggyback. You're going to get Chavez, and then we believe probably Strider coming into the game. See if those guys can give you some length and keep you on top, and then keep runners in scoring position going. Tuesday in the second game of the doubleheader, 0 for 11. Finally 4 for 9 on Wednesday, and 7 out of the 9 runs, Chip, weren't not on home runs. So a good sign for this team.
Runner starts, then stops, and Yelich took a strike. This guy's going to be a huge key for Milwaukee. A .248 average, 9 homers last season. He's got 4 homers already this year. And that's launched out of play, 0-2.
I mean, you're looking at the MVP in 18 and runner-up in 19. In 19, he might have actually had a better year than 18. But Cody Bellinger had that huge year too out in LA.
No real shift for Yelich with 1 out. Chavez, fly ball, center field. Duvall on the run. He is going to get there at the edge of the track. Yelich scorched that ball at 101 miles an hour and flies to the deepest part of the yard. 2 outs.
Felt like he got that off the end of the bat a little bit. He said 101, hit it good, but not totally squared it up, and good play by Adam. 2 balls hit pretty deep, but very playable.
That brings up Andrew McCutchen. .242 average, 2 homers, 14 knocked in. Scorched toward short, and Dansby can't get it. McCutchen picks on the first one. First and second, 2 outs.
He was trying to go away and paint, which we usually see him able to do. He did that to Adames. That one came back over the plate.
And Dansby missed it by just that much. And that'll bring up Rowdy Tellez, who has been another great pickup for the Brewers. 8 RBIs in 1 game on Wednesday. He now has 22 of them to go with 7 home runs.
Yeah, I asked him down there how that felt. He said, well, it's good. I knew I could. If I don't get any for 2 weeks, I'm still good. Well, that's a good way to think.
Well, you mentioned the schedule for the Braves. That would work out just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
A home and home series coming up in the next 2 weeks.
You can do it after we leave Milwaukee.
So Chavez, a little first inning trouble, a couple of solid hits. And another chance for Duvall, perhaps. Deep center field, still going. He can't get there. It's off the base of the wall and ricochets back toward the infield. 2 runs are going to score, and Rowdy Tellez with a drive to center makes it 2-0 here in the first inning. Did that ball find another gear on Adam? Kind of an odd route.
I couldn't tell because it looked very similar to the one Yelich hit, but I'm wondering if Rowdy put a little more backspin on that ball because it kept carrying. Such a big, strong guy.
That little hesitation at the end.
He kind of, yeah, you see that when he took his eye off it to look at the wall, he kind of, tough play. It was a long way to go.
So the Braves will have to play from behind again tonight. Brewers strike for 2 in the first. And Luis Urias is back in the lineup. He's been bothered by a left quadriceps that he hurt in the spring. Urias is at third base. Jace Peterson, the former Brave, has gotten a lot of run at the hot corner for Milwaukee. And 1 ball, 1 strike. That's one area where the Brewers have been so good this year as a team, hitting almost 300 with runners in scoring position. Tellez improves that with a 2-run double. And this one hit in the air toward right, but Ronald will have room to make this play. And that will retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits. Brewers score a pair. Here come the Braves at home. Runs off Braves opener Jesse Chavez, but Atlanta's coming to work. And Ronald Acuna Jr. back atop the Toyota starting lineup. Guillermo Heredia gets the start for the Braves in left, with Marcell Ozuna serving as the Atlanta DH. That's important, Jeff, because Marcell has owned the man on the mound for Milwaukee. That's left-hander Eric Lauer.
Yeah, Marcell 6 for 9 with 3 home runs against him. He's got a good fastball, 95 or so, can really run it in on hitters. He's only got 5 walks to 34 Ks. Remember, he started game 4 last year against the Braves. He went 3 and 2-3 with 4 hits and 3 runs. The game that the Braves eventually won the NLDS on.
So Ronald Acuna Jr. leads off for the Braves. 4 hits on the road trip with a couple of RBIs. He's reached base in 20 straight games. And he jumps on the first pitch and rolls to third. And there's 1 man out. As good as the Brewers hitting has been, their pitching has been excellent as well. With Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Josh Hader and company. This
Williams,
is a good team.
Boxberger. Look, the strength of this team is their pitching. And we saw that last year during the playoffs. I mean, they shut down the Braves better than the Astros and Dodgers both did. Now, the problem for them was they couldn't score.
That hasn't been a problem for them of late.
So far, yeah.
And Matt Olson digs in, lefty versus lefty.
I was talking to a couple of guys about that last year, and they were saying, you know, they still felt like leading the Central by 14 games really hurt them down the stretch as far as momentum goes.
Olson tried to bunt against the shift. Not a bad idea, but he fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's always the real conundrum a team has, right? Do you want to have to fight for your life just to get in down the stretch, or do you want to have a nice comfortable lead, rest guys, and
I think if you could do it perfect, but 4 games left.
Yeah.
Then take the last.
Yeah.
But remember, we used to always say that was kind of, I thought, hurt the Braves back in the 90s. Sometimes they win the division by 15 games.
So getting that edge back, I guess.
You lose. I mean, yeah, it can do that to you. Or if you think about the Braves, they kind of clawed their way into the postseason the whole way.
Olsen takes outside. His at-bats, Jeff, in the last 3-4 games have gotten a lot better.
He's seeing the ball.
So he's in the driver's seat with 1 out and pops it up. Tellez says he's got it, and he will give way. And the grab made by Urias, and Olsen is retired, 2 outs.
The ball went a long ways. That was in the air a long time.
Austin Riley had a good road trip. 7 hits, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and Riley has done a lot of damage against left-handed pitching. Let's see if that continues tonight. Against Eric Lauer, who's unbeaten and has been a strikeout machine. In rotation, this man has struck out 24 men in his last 13 innings, covering 2 starts.
Watched him a couple Sunday nights ago. He pitched that Sunday night game against the Phillies and pitched a beauty. That's the pitch I think he does a really good job, whether it's that cutter at 91 or he can add a little more with kind of fastball in. He can really come in on those righties.
Another pop-up. Wynn might try to push this back toward the field of play, but that's in the seats foul. And the wind is howling toward the Brewers bullpen. If the righties get something to hit, it's going to go tonight. As the weather is warming up, mid-70s.
I think we're supposed to get one more little cool tomorrow. I think the high is only like 65 or so. Then I think it's going to get hot.
Base is empty, 2 strikes, and Riley takes one looking, and that will retire the side. Lauer, a 1-2-3 first inning, 2-0 Brewers in game 1.
Here was more mental approach type stuff, and he goes, I definitely felt like I was trying to get guys to swing and miss. I was trying to get misses rather than just trying to get contact and get guys out of the box. That was sort of a freeing thing to hear, he said, from Max. He goes, try to get swings, get contact, let them hit. And it sounds simple, but sometimes it can be a lot harder than just that, guys. But we have seen those results, certainly from Spencer Strider here early on.
Thanks, Kelly. Great report. Let's see how he fares against Hunter Renfroe. And that's the calling card for Spencer Strider. You're going to see consistent upper 90s stuff.
Exactly. And I love, how he was talking to Kelly and just being very open and honest. And look, for him, if he can repeat his delivery and keep things simple, he's got a big, strong career ahead of him.
And that's an easy 99 and 100.
And they hit Hunter Green pretty darn good the other night. And some of the guys were talking about Strider, and I said the difference is, to me, he can locate a little bit, and he's got a really good off-speed pitch.
I was listening to the Brewers radio cast yesterday, and legendary Bob Uecker was calling the game, and he made an excellent point. You can throw 100 all day long to major league hitters, but if you have nothing to get them off that pitch, you're going to get whacked.
Yep.
And that's what happened to Hunter Green. There's that off-speed pitch.
Well, and I also will say all the time, sometimes someone's 100 is different than another guy's 100. Just how it feels off, sometimes it's gets there a little quicker, it's a little heavier.
So 2 strikes for Hunter Renfroe leading off the second. He came over from the Red Sox, and there's that equalizer. First strikeout for Spencer Strider, 1 up, 1 down. This ball exploded away from the Brewers right-hand hitter.
Yeah, let's take a look at his slider here. After all those fastballs, that thing just tails off, gets an easy swing and miss, and that's going to lead us into our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Pitches over 100 miles per hour, 18, 7th most in MLB, and if he gets more innings like this and continues to build up, that's only going to go up for Spencer.
First strikeout for the Braves tonight. Here's Omar Narvaez. He's got a homer on the year, and he's a little late. Strike one. Another big crowd in Atlanta tonight as we kick off the weekend. We'll have fireworks after the game. The Hank Aaron statue given away for many fans here tonight. Braves will go over 500,000 in attendance once they count the turnstiles tonight. That's a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Narvaez and Kane are coming up in the inning with 1 out. Blew him away. 101, and that had another gear. Back-to-back strikeouts in the second inning.
I mean, that's just rearing back and beating you with heat, not to mention up in the zone.
I think you made a great point. Every 100 is not the same.
No, it's not. Look, Roy Halladay threw 94 miles per hour sinker. Promise you his sinker was a lot better than a lot of other guys at 94. It's just the way it comes out of the hand, the way you see it. Some guys hide it better.
So the last hope for Milwaukee in this inning, Lorenzo Kane. And he swings late. Strike one. Kane hitting a .196. He's in the last year of his contract. 8 homers, 36 RBIs in 69 starts last year. And fouled away again. It's 0-2.
Look at it. These are big league hitters knowing that's coming. And now the ability of, again, you saw Renfroe take that swing. If he wants to throw the fastball, he can. If he wants to try to throw a slider away, he probably can get a swing and miss on it.
12 pitches, 11 strikes. Sometimes they say you can throw too many, but not when they're moving and cutting
at
like
100.
These are. Every fastball 99 miles an hour or more to Lorenzo Kane, and that just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strider ready. Here it is. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. He struck out the side. So Spencer Strider restores a little order. Now the heart of the Atlanta order is coming up. Renfroe swings and misses. Narvaez didn't get the high heat. Lorenzo Kane got a curveball. Coming up for the Braves here in the second inning, Milwaukee struck for 2 off Jesse Chavez, who is the Atlanta opener tonight. And maybe this is the guy, Jeff, that'll get the offense going. Marcell Ozuna will lead off. First to look at our Getting More Done feature presented by the Home Depot.
It has absolutely lit up the Brewers last 50 games. 312, 10 home runs. As we talked about, 6 for 9 with 3 home runs against Lauer. And I thought he had some really good at bats Wednesday. Started to see the ball better.
So we'll see how Ozuna, Albies, and d'Arnaud fare here in the second. Lauer misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. For fans who didn't hear our commentary with Marcell in Texas and New York, what has been the main issue for him at the plate?
He's been opening up early, and it kind of spins. You see, if for him, he's going to open a little bit, but when he stays through the ball with his hands, you hear someone say hitting inside out. You know, it enables him to get all that backspin. When you fly open, the rest of your swing kind of just breaks down when you do that.
Well, he's ahead here. 2 balls, no strikes. And popped it out of play to the right. It's now 2-1. 4 homers, 10 RBIs for Ozuna. He's the designated hitter for the Braves this evening. Atlanta so far 5-5 against opposing left-handed starters. High fly ball to center, but that's going to be playable for Lorenzo Kane. And there's the first out. Lauer has set down 4 in a row. And here's Ozzie. Look up and down the Braves lineup. There really wasn't anybody that had an exemplary road trip at the plate. Ozzie at one point was 0 for 19. Ozuna had 3 hits on the trip. Matt Olson went 5 for 26. So as a group right now, it just hasn't flowed for the Braves. But a lot of time left in this game for that to change. Let's see if Ozzie can start an Atlanta rally. 6 homers, 11 RBIs for Albies, who's been the leadoff hitter and the 5th place hitter for the Braves this year. And that one ricochets off the pitcher's foot. Urias at third, throws and got it.
And you talk about bad luck. That ball was up the middle for a base hit.
Now they want to check on Lauer. That might have gotten him flush. We'll find out where. See what happened to Ozzie in the box.
Right in the shoe. See? Yeah, the bottom of the shoe.
Heads up play by Urias to flag that one down, and he threw a strike to Tellez at first. Tricky hop, and he stayed with it.
Man. I'll tell you, up in New York too, Ozzie got robbed about 4 or 5 times.
So 5 up, 5 down for the Brewers. Here's d'Arnaud hitting .300. A couple of homers, 12 driven in for him. Lauer with that modified delivery. He evens it up with a good breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right under the letters of the 74 replica jerseys worn by the Braves this weekend.
Love these unis.
I'm with you. 1-2 pitch. '74 Braves wore this combo. It is a crisp look. The 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts. 6 up, 6 down for Lauer. 2-0 Milwaukee. Top of their order coming up in the 3rd.
Down. Presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Milwaukee leads by a pair. All their runs came in the opening inning. They'll have the top of the order coming up here in the 3rd inning. As we get you reset with Spencer Strider on for his 2nd frame. Jeff, let's check out our Coors Light Beating the Pressure feature.
Yeah, the bullpen has been outstanding the last 10 games. Whip is .81. Of course, the back end, Kenley Jansen's 3 for 3 on saves. Really, some of the big 3 guys right now have come huge. Strider, McHugh, and Mentor. 11 2/3 scoreless with 13 Ks. We've talked about this is a strikeout bullpen.
And hopefully once the offense hits stride, Brian Snitker will be able to unleash the hounds, if you will, and get the game set up the way he'd like with the night shift. It just hasn't happened all that frequently here in the first 3 weeks of the 2022 championship season. So Strider in the 3rd inning will face Colton Wong, Willie Adames, and Christian Yelich. He struck out the side in his 1st inning out of the Braves bullpen tonight. The Brewers are 13-2 in games played this year when they score first. The Braves are 2-14 when that happens. So they've been playing from behind way too much.
And you don't want to get behind too much by them late, because kind of like the Braves bullpen, they have a very, very dominant back end.
And with Williams and Hader, as this ball is cracked toward right center field, Duvall's got a long way to go to track that down. That's going to bounce off the fence, and Colton Wong has a leadoff double. He's 2 for 2. It's already 4 hits for the Brewers in the game, 2 extra base knocks, and Willy Adames hits again with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, you can see Travis set up outside, and this one was as a hitter. If you're going to hit 99 or 100, that's exactly, Chip, where you want that ball, down in the zone a little bit where you can drop the bat head on it.
To our point earlier, if it's straight, they'll figure out a way to hit it.
Exactly, and location-wise.
So Adames, he'll try to get Wong to third at the very least. Mentioned Rowdy Tellez in his huge 8 RBI game against the Reds. And he does his job perfectly, does Adames. The runner is at third with 1 out. Adames had a 7 RBI game against the Pirates on April 26th. So they've been getting their runs in bunches. And some good ABC baseball by the Brewers brings up Yelich. Man at third, 1 out.
Infield's going to come in with it being a 2-0 game already.
It's good to have this guy healthy again. Christian Yelich has had back problems the last several years.
Well, those don't seem like an easy thing to get rid of either overnight.
Strider's first to him. This is inside, ball 1. Saw an interesting note the other day that the 4 players that the Brewers traded to the Marlins for Christian Yelich, not a single one of them is still in the Marlins organization.
Lewis Brinson was the last one, right? And they released him this offseason.
So Yelich, part of a club in Milwaukee that's made the playoffs 4 straight years. They figure to have a great chance to get back again in 22. 1-0 count. Way high, ball 2. An add a ball or a strikeout would be nice right here from Christian Yelich. Fouled off 98 straight back, 2 balls and a strike. Brewers are 8-4 this year away from American Family Field. They have a +41 run differential. And they are doing what good teams do. They are beating the clubs that they should beat up on. The Brewers have handled the Pirates, the Cubs, and the Reds. Pitch. And Strider's back in the count, 2-2.
See if you can get a punch out now. Got yourself back in the count. Either climb that, to me, that ladder with that fastball, or try to throw a back foot slider and get him out front, swing through it.
Yeah, got Renfroe and Kane on breaking balls. Narvaez with the heat last inning. So let's see what he's got in mind. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blew him away with a fastball. Nice comeback from a 2-0 count.
That's a perfect example. Wong got the fastball down and low. Look at this one. Even though he was trying to go a little more outside, look at the location. It's up in the zone. And when you try to catch up to 99, 100 up like that with 2 strikes, you're just lucky to foul it off.
Yelich couldn't, and it's up to McCutchen, who picked on a first pitch from Jesse Chavez and singled. He scored on the Tellez double to center.
It's one thing, you know, difference between like Jesse. You know he's going to pound the strike zone. The good news for a guy like Strider is if you do get a guy at third like this with 1 out, you have strikeout type stuff to keep them there.
Popped him up. He's going to get out of it. Ozzie Albies will drift back, and plenty of room for the Braves' second sacker. And a nice job by Spencer Strider. Gives up a leadoff double and nothing else in a 2-0 game. Presented by Truist. So glad you're with us on this Friday night in Atlanta. Jeff Francoeur, Kelly Kroll, Chip Carey with you. Brewers scored 2 in the first. That's the figurine we spoke of earlier tonight. Our friends at Delta Airlines provided that for many of the paying guests in our beautiful home ballpark. Let's see if Adam Duvall, Heredia, Swanson, and others can hammer a few baseballs out tonight for Hank and get this lead erased in the home third. Adam Duvall, a homer, 13 RBIs. And that's taken inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, the whole month of April, we've seen Adam really kind of scuffle to get going, get a consistent thing. I tell you that those last 2 games, I thought in New York, his at bats looked better. He had some success. Hopefully he can use this homestand to really get himself going.
How big was his 2-run double in that 6th inning up in New York?
And that's my point. Not just for the team, Chip, but also for himself. He needed that. If there's one guy on this team that needed it, it was Adam Duvall.
And we talked about it up in New York. Look, this is part of the evolution of a major league team over the course of a long season. Every team is going to go through a dry spell offensively. You just don't know when it's going to happen. Right now, unfortunately for the Braves, it's been for the last 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
But this team is too talented and too good to be struggling to score 3 runs a night. And look, I think they'd be the first to tell you, striking out 29% of the time ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, and I think we can agree that I think will come down at some point. It did last year. Remember, that was a big problem early too.
Right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Did he go? He did. Duvall couldn't check his swing. And he's rung up by Manny Gonzalez. And that's 3 strikeouts for Lauer. And the last parting shot from Adam Duvall, who hardly ever says anything.
I think he was asking if he tipped his bat. Yeah, he went.
He went. And the sense too, Jeff, that we talk about this offensive drought. We talk to the players. They're not worried about it. I think to a man, they're disappointed in it. I think they're frustrated by it. I think to a man, they also believe they're going to come out of it, and when they do, somebody's going to pay. No time like the present against Eric Lauer, who leads by 2. Out of play, Heredia, who had a home run in New York and took one back too, maybe. Great catch in right.
Yeah, he made a great play down the right field line. Get that game kind of started off in the right direction. Kept it at 0-0 until the Braves offense broke through in the 6th.
That's tipped and caught. No balls, 2 strikes.
Gotcha.
0-2 pitch is high. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. Outfield straightaway for Heredia. You're really going to have to sock it if you hit it out to right tonight. The pitch. And he didn't get that. Another strikeout. That is 4 of them in the game. So 4 of the first 8 Braves hitters have gone down swinging tonight. And Dansby Swanson tries to be the first Atlanta base runner. Braves entered play today tied for the most strikeouts as an offense in the major leagues, not just the National League, the big leagues, and they've got 4 already. And Dansby Swanson's coming up. Dansby's been a lot more productive at the bottom of the order. A bloop and a blast gets you tied, but we got to get a runner first. And that's in for a strike. Dansby's our Georgia Natural Gas impact player tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a guy that's definitely done a great job lowering his strikeout. His strikeout rate was 41.5 in his first 14 games, 29% in the last 13. Done a much better job. He hit 143 in his first 14 games with a 208 on base percentage. So a guy that's definitely heating up at the right time. His last 13 games.
So that good work will be put to the test against Eric Lauer, who, as we said, counting tonight's play, 28 strikeouts in his last 15 2/3 innings.
Well, he's a forgotten guy in this rotation because you think of Burns, Woodruff.
Last year, Peralta.
Yeah, Peralta hasn't been as sharp this year, but I mean, it's a big arm from the left side.
And this is only the second time the Braves have faced him in a big league game, which is a little odd as long as he's been around. 1 ball 2 strikes, wide open hole right side for Dansby, and they pitch him in. And the count even at 2-2. Base is empty for the Braves shortstop. And Lauer wants to think it over. Driven toward right. But Hunter Renfroe is there, and he puts that away, and that takes care of the Braves. 9 up, 9 down through 3 innings. 2-0 Milwaukee. A-list season ticket member, but you're not sure what location is best for you? Well, the Fielder's Choice plan offers the ability to have a Braves ticket bank that you can redeem for any number of tickets at any game of your choosing. Receive a 20% savings off gate price now at Braves.com/Fielder's Choice to see all the options. Well, there are a lot of great choices. There's not a bad seat in the house at Truist Park. And most of them are filled tonight on a perfect Friday night, except for the score, where Milwaukee leads 2-0 after 3. The arch villain is Rowdy Tellez, who doubled home the game's runs with 2 outs. In the opening inning, he'll lead off the 4th.
I like the saying golf and match play when I'm 2 down after 4. It's early, Chip.
It is early.
It's early.
How about a press? We got Acuna coming up with the 4th inning.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Double down.
That's you, Mr. Vegas. Jeff Francoeur, the pitch. He's in for a strike. Now look, the job for Strider is simple in theory. Hold him right here and give your bats a chance to make some adjustments against Lauer, who's buzzsawed 9 up, 9 down.
Now you want to press your manager. Do what he did last inning. He gave up a double. He got the guy over, and then strike out Christian Yelich and jam McCutchen on the first pitch. Those are situations you love seeing a young pitcher be able to pitch his way out of.
Oh, overcooked that one, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. Atlanta shifts for Tellez as Strider goes to work and lifted foul and out of play. Full count. As I said, rainy weather in Atlanta early this morning. It's cleared off beautifully. That's not the case around a lot of the big leagues. Games up on the eastern seaboard washed out tonight.
7, I think 6 or 7 postponed games tonight.
So we're fortunate to be underway without difficulty tonight. And the payoff pitch is fouled back. Strider ready. Here she comes. And a terrific job by Tellez to fight that off. Well, it's funny how just a change of scenery can make all the difference in the world for a player and for a team. That's exactly what happened to Rowdy last year. The Brewers got him from Toronto in early July, and he was a big lift for Craig Counsell's club. And a good night tonight already. Smash to center. Duvall on the run. Slowing to the wall. He's got it. The wind pushed that into his glove. He is on everything right now.
Yeah, he definitely, though, that last at bat, Chip, he definitely hit that ball better than we thought, because I thought this was kind of the same way, and Duvall was able to kind of get back a little bit easier. I think he backed that other one up Jesse Chavez pretty good. But yeah, the ball's kind of just dying out there in center.
That's been the talk around baseball. Different baseball, different results. Ball goes up and then seems to die at the warning track.
Yeah, you say that, and then they hit 7 home runs yesterday against Cincinnati.
Correct. Makes you wonder. Maybe their humidor just wasn't humid enough. Who knows? Here's Urias with the bases empty and 1 out. That's the other thing, too. Prior to this season, there were only 10 big league ballparks that were using the humidor. The humidor now in all 30 major league stadiums.
And I don't necessarily love that because, like San Fran, why the heck do you need a humidor out there? Hey, you want to put one in Cincinnati, Philly, Yankee Stadium? I'm good with that.
I mean, you don't even need a humidor in San Francisco. Just sit it out in the parking lot, let the fog waft over them. They'd
Yeah,
get plenty
right.
of moisture that way, wouldn't they? But look, there are myriad studies going on with Major League Baseball, and only time will tell what effect that's going to have. We haven't hit the hot weather yet. And as usual, I would think, Jeff, that a lot of the talk about the deadened baseball will go away once we're in the 90s every day.
Yeah. Agreed.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Urias. Somewhat of a standard infield alignment for him. And Strider blows him away right down Peachtree. 5 strikeouts for Spencer in 2 2/3 innings. 2 outs for Renfroe.
Well, and you're going to get strikeouts. Look at this right here. I mean, 99 just painted, beat him to the spot. And I think what Kelly was talking about earlier with pitching to contact, not feeling like you have to strike everybody. This is because you're pitching to that. You're throwing him something to let him try to get himself out. And you just blew it right by him. You painted it.
And pretty efficiently, too. 38 pitches for him.
That's, I think, the other good thing. He's not sitting here at 55 pitches through, 3 innings.
So obviously, the more he pitches, the longer he pitches, then you start thinking about, well, where does this guy fit in? Can he start a game every 5th day for you? Seems like that's kind of the track he's on. But we'll see how it works out as Hunter Renfroe takes a strike. We've seen Renfroe before with the Padres, with the Red Sox. The Brewers sent Jackie Bradley Jr. and others back to Boston and brought Renfroe in.
A lot of power.
For me, he's kind of their Adam Duvall. Same kind of player.
It's for a lot of power, not an on-base machine, and really good defensive outfielder also, like Adam.
One ball, 2 strikes. Driven to right. Acuna gives ground and adjusts his route. Can't come up with it. And he'll play that on 1 hop off the warning track. And Renfroe's aboard with a 2-strike, 2-out hit. Wonder if the wind played with this a little bit.
I think Ronald thought this ball was hit a little bit harder than it was, too, and it just kind of spinned and died. Look at it. He thought he had a beat on it, just kind of going towards the line, and then it really died at the end.
So the second double allowed by Strider. The first one was left stranded in the 3rd inning. Let's see if he can do the same here with Omar Narvaez coming up. Narvaez struck out on that high fastball. So he's 0 for 1 in the game. And right on by strike 1. Big lead at second for Renfroe, and the pitch is golf foul. He's got him in his mercy. 0-2. So 44 pitches for Strider on Hank Aaron weekend. Let's see if number 45 can send Acuna to the plate in the Braves' 4th. It's only 2-0 Milwaukee. That's hooked off the net foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Brewers have a 2.5 game lead over the Cardinals in the National League Central. St. Louis will be in San Francisco later on tonight. Cardinals won yesterday. That's going to be a great race, much like we expect our Eastern race to tighten up as the summer moves along as well. That's tipped and caught. Strider has struck out 6 men in 3 innings. He'll turn things over to the top of the order. He strands a couple of doubles tonight. 2-0 Brewers, but the Braves are coming back.
Trailing the Brewers by a couple runs. Of course, Matt Olson could change that in a hurry, due up second this inning. Had a nice weekend in New York, and in speaking with him this afternoon, he said, you know, sometimes when things are going really good, like they were for me at the start of the year, you start to get this sense of a little bit of false confidence. And he goes, for me, I was just out of my zone a little bit, and I started chasing pitches I wouldn't typically chase, and then I was getting pitches right over the heart of the plate that I was missing because I was trying to hit everything. And he said there's just this mental reset he went through. He worked on some things in the cage and tried to get through that, and he said it really helped guys to square up a few in New York this weekend, certainly.
Yeah, I agree, Kelly, and I think Chip as a hitter, you look at it, we only usually talk about what the hitter does when he's struggling. He's swinging, he's trying to do too much. Well, it can work the other way too, and I think that was proof right there of Matt talking about, you know, when you feel good, yeah, you can hit any pitch, but eventually it's going to turn. And for him, when it did, he just couldn't quite get it back.
And I would imagine that's the lesson for all of us as you watch an offense struggling as a group. At some point, that's going to turn too, right? There's going to be progression to a mean. We talk about the regression that a hitter will have. At some point, this team's going to hit.
Well, we talked in New York about, you know, the hard hit percentage for the Braves team compared to the Mets. And I said at some point it flips a little bit. And
fly ball, well hit center. Drifting back, Kane. Hasta la vista. It's way out of here. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a moonshot home run. His first home run, Jeff, since last July. And how satisfying that trip around the bases must be for Ron.
I'll show you the replay. He fell down. After he hit the ball, he fell down in the batter's box. And I think Ronald just showed you, Chip, the ball's not dead. Because that ball just went over our bullpen about 7 rows deep.
Yeah, he killed it. His
Watch this.
homer.
Watch him. It's an off-speed pitch.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, so I saw him go down on the ground. So I honestly saw the ball get hit good, but I thought maybe he had missed it and just fell down.
Wow. So the old stop, drop, and roll homer to center. For Acuna, the Braves have a run back. It's a 2-1 game now. And Matt Olson is your hitter. Braves country has waited for that forever. And I know Ronald's going to start laughing when he sees he fell down. But you're right. That ball's creamed.
Watch where this ball lands.
Just right at Chattahoochee Falls, right?
Yeah, but about 7-8 rows up in the stand. It's opposite field.
He and William Contreras still laughing about the stumble after the homer. As Lauer now a 2-2 count. 2-1 game. And outside. We talk a lot. You can tell how a guy is doing at the plate, not just by the number of hits, but by his takes.
Well, that's the thing. Think about it. This count was 0-2, and he's got it back now and worked it.
So the first hit leaves the ballpark for the Braves. It's their first run. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a homer. And the pitch. Olsen takes ball 4. Great at bat from 0-2.
Yeah, when you're not going well and you're feeling that that's a ball you kind of just go after. For him, he's seeing it again now. Passes the baton.
Austin Riley took one down in Peachtree for out number 3 in the first inning. Let's see what he can do. Outfield deep for Austin Riley, as you'd expect. And Matt Olson chased back to first. I think Matt's going to say, well, thank you. That's a nice compliment. Hasn't tried a stolen base yet this year. He has a very short lead. Riley has crushed left-handed pitching this year. This would be a great time to continue that. Huge hole right side for Riley. The pitch. And right on by. This guy's got a good fastball. 95 miles an hour. Contreras has the loop feature going on the video iPad. Watch. Boink. Kids will be kids, won't they? That's outside.
I wonder what that conversation's being said right now.
Now, do they still have kangaroo court?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question. Because that would be in it for sure. Max fine.
That'd be a fine.
Yes.
Now, what was max fine? You
$100.
Really? I thought it'd be more than that. Not going to adjust for inflation or salaries or anything like that?
Kept it friendly.
I would assume that you had your fair share of those.
I had to put some money in it different times. Yep.
They're still watching.
Now they're getting already involved.
I can only imagine what Guillermo's going to do with that. Bit of video. 3 balls and a strike. And back-to-back walks. So much better at bats for the Braves now against Lauer after the homer. Greg Counsell looking on with a bit of concern because Ozuna's up, and we've mentioned a couple of times how Marcel has done against the Brewers left-hander. First, there'll be a mound visit.
When you think about it, first 9 hitters they kind of mowed down. Now all of a sudden they're running into a little bit.
That is Chris Hook, the Brewers pitching coach. That's a perfect name if you're a pitching coach, by the way. We'll ponder that as we enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
So the Acuna homer has been followed by 2 walks, and now Marcel, the hitter, he flied out his first time up. What was your first kangaroo court fine?
For living at my parents' house while I was in the big leagues.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Me and BMAC both. We had to pay $20 a day for every day we lived there.
And how long did it take you to fix that?
About a week. We got an apartment.
And who was the person who was responsible for issuing the fine? Was there one person in particular, or was it just
Smoltzy was the judge, wore the cape.
Did he really?
Yeah, and then you always had one Latin guy representing, one American representing. You know, it was always good. One pitcher, one position player.
That might be the greatest fine I've ever heard of. Here's Marcel, 2 on, nobody out. Headed for a strike. Yeah, I'd forgotten you guys came up, the baby Braves. You're all local kids. Why wouldn't you stay at home?
Yeah.
Save a couple bucks.
I bet it started costing us a couple bucks. Cheaper to get our own place.
2-1 game. Braves threatening here in the 4th inning. The pitch. And Marcel didn't get that. Tentative swing, 0-2. He's got, when he gets going, he can carry you for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he can.
Arias guards the line at third. They've got a shift on, a lot of room up the middle if Marcel can drive one. He tries to. That's poked into shallow center. That might drop. It is not going to drop. And wandering too far off first. And the throw came back to first. It bounces off the face of the dugout. Now there's going to be a throw to third, and that's going to be late. Oh, my goodness. Lorenzo Cain had Olson dead to rights at second base. Instead, he threw to first where nobody was covering. And the Braves get a huge break. Instead of a double play, they're at second and third with one out. Wow.
I almost get the feeling, Chip, that he thought EY was his first baseman because he was the only guy at first base. You said it. Matt Olson was. Watch this. So you get jammed here. Look at Matt. You're right. I mean, Matt is, look at, he's done. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he thought, what a huge break. And then Navarez at the end didn't throw it right away to get Olson. He waited a second. So ends up getting a break, getting second and third now.
So the Braves have two in scoring position with one out. And if ever there was a time for the Braves offense to make some contact, this is it. They pinch in at the corners. Normal depth up the middle for the Brewers. 2 on, 1 out. And a strike. Jeff told us the last game against the Mets, the Braves were, what, 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position?
They were, and until the Guillermo home run to make it 9, they'd scored all 7 runs without hitting a home run.
If you hit the ball up the middle and don't hit the pitcher, you get an RBI.
Yep.
Ozzie would like to do that at the least, a 1. But it's popped back toward us. And just like that, it's 0-2. He's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber features. The Braves threatening the 4th.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1 with a solo homer off Lauer in his career. His career 306 hitter versus the Central.
The 0-2 pitch. Line drive center field. That's going to be deep enough, you figure. Cain the catch. Olson's going to tag. The throw coming toward third. It's going to be close, and they got him. But the run scored ahead of the peg at third base. The Brewers want to challenge that and make sure.
I think it barely did.
So we might have a double challenge here. The Brewers might challenge the run scoring. The Braves might challenge the out call of Riley at third base. Let's see.
No, he definitely touched home plate before. Looks like there's going to be nothing.
So Ozzie makes contact, but Riley's doubled up at third.
2-2.
And you're right, game tied here in the 4th inning.
No challenge. Good job by Matt Olson right there. Chip hustling all the way.
So Olson scores. Riley out at third. And the Braves have tied this game in the 4th inning. They get it tied on a sac fly, so new life as we head to the 5th inning. 2-2 game. Spencer Strider back to work. He's about to start his 4th inning, and he has looked terrific. He has struck out 6. He's given up a couple of doubles, but most importantly, Jeff, no runs.
That was a weird last 2 batters of that inning. Just the circumstances, how they unfolded. And again, I'm going to say great hustle by Matt Olson. That is why, you know, you're told when you're tagging like that to never slow up across the base with another guy on like that because of that.
So Kane, one bad throw and one good throw defensively for Milwaukee. Slices this down the line, and that is a foul ball. The only negative for the Braves in the 4th inning. Riley tagging up made the 3rd out at third base. In that situation, it was a close play. The Braves opted not to challenge the out call at third base.
Yeah, I think the thing that was hard when we slowed down the replay was the glove might have nipped the back heel as it was coming in, and it's going to be hard to tell.
So the Brewers didn't challenge, the Braves didn't challenge, and we are indeed
you
all
move
even
on
at 2-2. .50 pitches for Strider so far tonight. The pitch is caught on and missed. Kane down swinging for the 2nd time, and Strider is just blowing these guys away. He's got all his pitches working. That's 7 strikeouts.
That down in the zone. I mean, that's an emergency swing from Lorenzo Kane. Wonder what his pitch count possibly tonight is. I mean, you going with now the eye test and seeing where he's at?
I would think. I mean, he's been so efficient.
I was going to say he's not showing any signs of slowing down.
And look, if the plan is to maybe stretch this guy out enough to make him a full-fledged starter and not a guy following on a piggyback, ride him as long as you can within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Brian and Rick Kranitz do an excellent job of monitoring workloads. And Strider is just playing catch right now. Change up. That just missed to Colton Wong. 2 balls and a strike. 2 sliders and a changeup for Wong, who's 2 for 2. Then you go from 87 to 97 in consecutive pitches.
You know, last at bat, Wong hit that ball up the middle, kind of right center for a double.
So let's see what he has in mind here. Ground ball right at Ozzie. That's going to be the 2nd out. And Willie Adames, the hitter, he's 0 for 2. And before Strider picks up another 1-2-3 inning, let's step aside for a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no. Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Adames has flied out and grounded out.
You know, last inning we got talking about the base running play so much. Great job by Ozzie on an 0-2 count to get a sac fly. He's one of the best at our team, Chip, with a runner on third getting guys in. You'll see him swing a lot early in the count. Might be a rollover ground ball, but it gets the run in.
Out of play. Look, there are outs and then there are productive outs.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember, I've said it a few times on this broadcast, but Chipper used to tell me every time, trading out for a run every time. And if you do that enough with that approach, you're going to end up getting your hits and driving in runs that way too.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Adames awaits and fought that off. And those add-on runs are so demoralizing for an opponent, right? They fight their way back, get the game close, and then you manufacture a run or 2 in the 6th or 7th, and all of a sudden you look up and you're down 3 and you're in the loss column. That's one of the facets the Braves have improved on tonight. Got 2 walks and gifted one of them into the game-tying run.
Well, I think both these teams, like I said, great pens, maybe a couple of the top pens in the National League. So these next 2 or 3 middle part innings are huge because I think both managers know if we can get a lead, we can line up the 7th, 8th, 9th how we want.
Lined into left field. Adames has a base hit. That's the 3rd of those allowed by Spencer, and now he'll face Christian Yelich. Yelich is 0 for 2. Not so long ago, the Marlins outfield was Ozuna, Yelich, and Stanton.
Yeah.
Now all 3 of those players are in other uniforms. Yelich with Milwaukee. Strider with a career high 7 strikeouts. Has looked very sharp. And Jeff, for a guy that's barely into his professional career, he does not look intimidated at all by facing big league hitters.
No, I give him a lot of credit for a young kid, like you said, not having a line. He's got the same demeanor. Almost every appearance we've seen him out there.
Sharply hit, and that's into right field. A 2-out hit. Acuna over, bobbles for a moment, heading toward third as Adames. He would have made it even with a clean fielding play. And the Brewers threaten in the 5th inning, 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. So Milwaukee's 2nd time through the order against Strider, getting a few better looks. And I'd be careful of a first pitch fastball to Andrew McCutchen here.
That's what you got him on last time, and you jammed him. I think it's okay to do it, but if you're going to do it, it's got to be located. Both times he's jumped on that first pitch tonight.
Way high, ball 1. Braves bullpen begins to stir now. And Rick Kranitz will pop out. Colin McHugh warming up. Talked to Colin before the game today. This is a special evening for him. He wanted us to say happy birthday to his grandpa, Bill Bennett, who's 96 years young tonight. Mr. Bennett watching us from Lilburn, Georgia. And we want to say happy birthday as well. And we're real proud of your grandson, as I know you are too.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bill. 96. Well done, sir.
So the meeting a brief one. Strider trying to complete 4 frames for Atlanta. He's got the first 2 outs, but Milwaukee with back-to-back singles. And their cleanup hitter up with runners at 1st and 3rd.
Definitely think now you're seeing him tire pretty quick this inning. Getting now to a 66 pitch. Seen that fastball more 96, 97.
Got that corner called. Fouled back. He's a strike away. Most pitches that Strider has thrown in a major league game this year is 71. That was in his 2nd appearance. It came against the Nationals. He's got 68 of them now. And this big crowd cheering him on. He's done a great job. He's allowed the bats to tie the game at 2. And McCutchen stands in the way here. The 2-2 pitch. Runner at first goes. Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts.
And his 69th pitch was the biggest pitch of the night right there. Left him at first and third.
Milwaukee can't break through in the 5th. Spencer Strider with 4 scoreless innings of work out of the Braves bullpen. He's having himself quite a night. In Atlanta, boy, what a job by Spencer Strider. 8 strikeouts in his stint in relief. The ballpark buzzing, as you see on our Xfinity Live Look cam. 2-2 game, home 5th coming up. And Travis d'Arnaud will lead. The Braves have 1 hit. That's the Acuna homer, but that's enough to have them tied at the moment. Let's see what d'Arnaud can do. He struck out. And in for a strike. It's 0-1. Braves haven't had an answer for Eric Lauer tonight. He's throwing harder than I remember, and he's keeping the ball in on these right-handers' hands.
He made one mistake, and it went a long ways. And then he had back-to-back walks, which, again, the Braves were able to take advantage and get another run out of it.
No balls, 2 strikes for the Atlanta catcher, and a hot shot, and caught it short. A bullet. Adames climbed the ladder to take care of, and d'Arnaud is out number 1.
Man, that ball was hit hard. Actually, hard enough that it almost popped out of his glove.
Yeah, it waffled him for a second, didn't it?
Yeah, watch this. See how it kind of climbs the glove, and it's right on the edge. He was able to squeeze it.
So 1 away for Adam Duvall. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. And that's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Two game, home 5th. And that's popped right side. Wynn playing tricks with that. Renfroe near the warning track is going to box that. He slowed down and tried to make a basket catch and couldn't come up with it. So a swing on the house for Duvall here.
He had that at the last second. Kind of just gator armed it. Yeah, he overran it.
Right on the wrist. It's already taped. So a break for Duvall. Let's see if he can cash that in. Mentioned the Braves are 5-5 against left-handed starters. The Braves, Astros, and Twins have seen more left-handed starting pitchers opposing them than any other team in the major leagues.
Thought so. They gave that an E9 on Renfroe.
That's the right call. As Adams swings and misses, that ball was caught by Narvaez. No need to throw to first, and Adams strikes out for the second time. 2 down. Duvall thought the ball hit the dirt. He's asking for Manny Gonzalez to take a look. Did it?
No.
So 5 strikeouts for Eric Lauer. Here's Heredia. He swung and missed. And he offers it the first one here. Tricky hop, and Adames stayed with that. And that is the Atlanta inning. 6th inning rolls around here at Truist Park. Good ball game, 2-2.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by CarShield. CarShield cars go further.
Well, in what's ostensibly a bullpen game for the Braves, the bullpen's done great work. They've given up 2 runs over 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, all 8 from Spencer Strider. Now Colin McHugh will try to continue that good work. And for more on Colin's season, let's join Kelly.
Yeah, guys, we saw him a couple of days ago against the Mets, 1 2/3 scoreless innings, a couple strikeouts. And it was interesting in catching up with him over the road trip, him saying that facing these National League hitters after spending, of course, so much time in the American League has been quite a learning process. And he goes, we call it booking a guy, but I've been doing a lot of that as far as cataloging. Let's say he's a lefty that kind of reminds me of this type of guy that you faced a whole bunch of times. And he said, you know, I really rely a lot on the other guys in that bullpen, just asking them questions. And I have a set of them that, for instance, is he a high ball or low ball hitter on fastballs? So they usually chase wide or below the zone if they're going to chase. As far as curveball wise, is it a horizontal break or vertical break that's better to them? And I thought that was really interesting just to think about all the things right now that he's trying to catalog in his head as far as facing an entire different set of hitters than he's really seen throughout his career.
Rowdy Tellez leads off and takes a strike. 1-1 the count. I would assume, Jeff, it's a lot easier to do that now with all the video and the way players change teams and locations in this era of baseball as opposed to, say, the 50s or 60s when you didn't have interleague play and players were bound to their clubs pretty much their entire careers.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting in that report, too, to think about this is a guy that's been around and pitched for quite some time now. So to see, you know, the way he prepares, you know, I think it's great. It's like as a hitter, if you're facing a guy, like you said, you want to know who do you compare him to, you know, that you see. And I think I'm sure for Collins the same way, facing some of these hitters he's not faced.
Interesting in this regard, too. This is Tellez's third at bat. He's seeing his third pitcher. Jesse Chavez saw him in the first. He flied out against Spencer Strider throwing 100 miles an hour. Now he's got Colin McHugh in opposition, and that's fouled at the plate. Darno's going to throw it around the horn. He said he caught it cleanly, but that's ruled a foul ball, so McHugh's got to reset here. What's that challenge like as a hitter?
Let's take a look at this. Oh, he never touched that.
I guess they called foul ball. The umpire
he didn't touch it. You can't
review that, which is silly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one off the end of the bat, soft contact, but a slow runner. And that'll take care of Tellez. That's about as softly as he's hit the ball in 2 weeks.
Well, think about it. He's faced 3 guys tonight, as you were talking about, Chip, that are completely different. Jesse Chavez, 88 to 90, kind of, you know, in and out. And of course, Spencer throwing 100. And then Colin McHugh, who's got the cutter and more meticulous with his pitches. So that's the tough thing about a bullpen game. If you get the arms you want out there, it is very difficult for that other team.
And so now with the Brewers in the 6th inning, if Atlanta can take the lead with 9-1-2 on their lineup card, well, then all of a sudden it sets up for Brian Sittker, as you said, 7-8-9 the way he wants it. But they haven't done much with Lauer.
That's what both these managers are thinking right now. Give me a run.
Has been awfully tough. Urias 0 for 2. He's flied out and struck out. Spencer Strider came within 1 strikeout of matching the all-time Braves record for strikeouts by a relief pitcher. It's 9, last done in 1960 by Juan Pizarro.
I remember that one.
How many times did you strike out? We're also told the all-time record in Major League Baseball for strikeouts by a relief pitcher is 17. Randy Johnson must have come on in an early inning appearance. And that's strike 16. Did I say 17? 16. I beg your pardon. 16 by Randy.
Still a good day either way. 16 or 17.
Man. There's the defensive lineup against Urias. 3 balls and a strike. Renfroe next. He went. Arias flipped the bat away and is going to have to put the gear back on. Full count. That's embarrassing. That was close.
That was close.
But if the intent is to swing the bat, that's what the umpires look at. And in Randy Gonzalez's judgment, Urias did that. So McHugh, new life, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that one is too tight. Now he'll go to first with 1 out. So that's the first walk issued by the Braves staff. Flowers walked 2. One of them scored, and McHugh has some work to do with Hunter Renfroe coming up.
That ball backed up on him. I like the thought process and the pitch behind it. Just wasn't able to finish it off.
Hunter Renfroe. He drove in 98 runs, hit .259, and had 64 extra base hits for the Red Sox last year. I think he's going to really like hitting at American Family Field in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Unless the roof is open and it's a day game. Nobody likes that.
No. Especially with that pitching staff they have, like Ben Sheets in the old days, that big old curveball.
Runner at first with 1 out. Renfroe a double play candidate if he can get a ground ball. Pitch is high. We'll be heading to Milwaukee at the end of this homestand. This will be a good stretch for the Braves. You've got the Brewers for 3. Off day Monday. Boston comes in for 2. Off day Thursday. Then San Diego is here for the weekend. Then we go to Milwaukee and Miami. So Braves will be playing some really good teams. The pitch. Got that corner call. Perfect spot.
One thing you love about it is having those off days built in a big homestand like this, because you can really utilize the bullpen and knowing they got, you know, a day off.
And it comes at a great time too. The off day yesterday, that is. Braves played the Mets 4 games in 48 hours. That's not easy either. The pitch. Tipped and caught. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colin ready, short lead at first by Urias. Nice stop by Travis for an even count. Speaking of the Mets, they were rained out. Mets and Phillies were washed out today. Phillies have to stew on a 7-run ninth by the Mets yesterday.
That's not easy.
Biggest comeback for the Mets in a game since 1997. And for the Braves idle, Atlanta 6.5 games behind New York at the start of tonight's play. The 2-2. Ground ball third, fair ball right. A good play. 1 play to make. Skip throw to first is going to be late. So a tough break for McHugh. He got the ground ball, but it was down the third base line. And again, Milwaukee threatens first and second with 1 out.
See that? Yeah, you're right. Got him out front. And good play by Austin, but wasn't able to get anything on this throw. And Renfroe can run.
So understanding the importance of this inning and this scoring opportunity, and the Brewers bullpen staring at Atlanta, Brian Snitker will waste no time. He is going to his bullpen. Narvaez will face Tyler Matzik with 1 out in the Brewers' 6th.
Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Game tied 2 apiece. Brewers threatening the 6th inning with 1 out. Tyler Matzik is coming on. This score indicative of how closely the Braves and Brewers have matched up in seasons past. Let's look inside that, Jeff. Our stats with Lowe's featured tonight.
Yeah, look at that. That is pretty darn close. Braves have played better defense, though. Those games, Atlanta's only 17 errors to Milwaukee's 31. The runs have been pretty close. Atlanta with 173, Milwaukee with 179.
Well, let's hold them right there. 2 on, 1 out. Omar Narvaez, the hitter. And he will face Tyler Matzik. Narvaez does a good job against lefties, hitting .273 against them. Matzik has had some traffic in the last couple of games. See if he can keep this thing tied 2 apiece. Upstairs, ball 2.
Well, Monday night in New York, it was Colin McHugh coming on to get Matzik out of a jam. Now we'll see if Matzik can pay it forward.
Yeah, McHugh struck out Mark Canha after Matzik walked a couple in New York. Now he's behind 2-0 to the left-hand hitting Brewers catcher. And a stressful start, 3-0. Lorenzo Cain is on deck. Tyler's retired 9 of 10 first batters entering tonight's game. He's got to come way back here. And the automatic in for a strike. Two game as Matzik ready and delivers. Got a break. Might have swung at ball 4. He did.
Yeah, got him chase that off the plate. Try to get started early. Ended up costing him.
So Matzik needs to make a pitch here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners lead with 1 out. And here it is. Braves bullpen, as Jeff mentioned, has been a strikeout bunch. In May, counting Strider's 4 innings, 19 1/3 innings, and 26 strikeouts. Matzik would love to improve on that right here with another 3-2 pitch. And he lost him, and the bases are loaded. So 2 walks in the inning, an infield hit as well, and now Lorenzo Cain has a chance to bust the game open. So Matzik allows his second first batter faced to reach on the year. And there's no place to put Cain, who has struck out swinging twice. Milwaukee's out hit the Braves 8-1. They've got him loaded. The pitch low and inside, ball 1. 8 pitches, 3 strikes for Matzik.
One thing Lorenzo's done a good job throughout his career in these type situations is being able to put the ball in play.
Attention media, today's attendance is 36,307. 36.
1 ball, no strikes. Braves at double play depth up the middle. Riley standard spot at third. The pitch. Ball 2. Urias, Renfroe, and Narvaez, the base runners. The 2-0 pitch. That would have some mustard on it. That's a little more like it. 2-1. Little chopper might be 2. Tricky hop. There's 1. On to first. He beat it. A run is in. The big hop cost the Braves a step, and Lorenzo Cain beats the rep. That scores Urias to break the tie.
Yeah, you're right. That last little hop right there. And with the runner there, Dansby really had no chance to come get that ball. It was a clean turn, but Cain still good speed, even as he's aging.
So he puts the ball in play, picks up his 4th RBI, and the Brewers cash in the 1-out walk and take a 3-2 lead. Not out of the woods yet with 2 outs. Colton Wong, the batter, he's 2 for 3. A run scored. 3-2 Brewers. Nobody's moved a muscle yet in the Brewers bullpen. Why would they? They've got Lauer allowing just 1 hit. Now he's got the lead again. The pitch. Even count. Brewers are glad to have Devin Williams back after he broke his hand late in the season last year. They missed him in the playoffs. The pitch over the netting, foul. 1 ball 2 strikes.
Try to find a way to get out of this inning right here at 3-2.
Check of the runner, Cain at first, and the pitch just missed. It's 2-2. One thing that makes bullpen games difficult is if you have to rely on 4 or 5 relievers, chances are you're going to stumble on one that's having a rough night. 2-2 count. And Matzik is really fighting his command. 16 pitches, 9 balls.
That's the thing. He's just been erratic. You've seen him lock in for a pitch or 2, be in the zone, and then need to. The runner at first, Cain, will be taken off here.
He and Olsen chatting it up as the payoff pitch is nowhere near. Ball 4. So the Braves have walked 3 Brewers in the inning. That loads the bases again, and now Willie Adames is the hitter. Let's see if the Braves bullpen gets back to work here. There are 2 outs, but 3 on, and big time trouble afoot with Adames. Adames with 7 homers, 18 RBIs in his last 13 games. As we told you, no shortstop in Major League Baseball has more homers or RBIs than this man, and he's up in a key spot. Bases loaded, 2 out. Almost to the backstop. Ball 1. Nobody is up. And now Kranitz is coming out. Let's see if that changes in the Braves bullpen. You've got left-hand hitting Christian Yelich next. But Matzik really had to work hard to throw strikes in this 6th inning.
I was going to say, usually lefty righty, it doesn't matter when he's out. The problem is he's struggling to throw strikes right now. And you know, last time there was a place to put Wong, nowhere to put Adames.
And as this conversation continues, Tyler Thornburg has gotten up and starts to play catch. Milwaukee's retaken the lead. They led 2-0 before the Braves swung the bat tonight. Atlanta got 2 runs in the 4th inning on a home run from Ronald Acuna Jr. Back-to-back walks and a sacrifice fly tied it up. But the Acuna homer, the only Atlanta hit. But it's only a 1-run game, so you feel good about your chances if Matzik can get out of this. He can't get ahead of anybody. 2-0.
And that's the frustrating thing. You said it. 3 walks. The infield single by Renfroe. So they've scored a run and got the bases loaded. Not a single ball out of the infield.
Strike zone can shrink for Adames now as he's way ahead in the count. But he offered at that. That might have been ball 3.
100% it was ball 3. Hopefully that is the break Matzek needed there to get him back in the count here.
Now he's got to throw a strike. Matzek's fastball velocity right around 95, but not enough strikes at this point. 3-1 your count. A Brewer at every base. Hammered off the netting foul. He was ready for that. 95-mile-an-hour fastball and was a little early. So now, as the great Ernie Johnson used to say, the old merry-go-round will start.
Yeah.
36,000 plus at Truist Park want Matzek to make a big pitch. Renfroe, Kane, and Wong the runners. There they go. The pitch. He lost in ball 4. Another run is in. Renfroe will trot home. That's the second run charged to Colin McHugh. And Matzek has walked 3 of the first 4 batters he has faced. And Brian Snitker will go and get him. So Tyler Matzek didn't have it tonight. 1/3 of an inning, no hits, 3 walks, and the runners aboard are his responsibility.
By Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners, the All-South Highway Safety Team. Never mix drinking and driving. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Milwaukee's taking advantage in the 6th inning. 4-2 is your score. They still have the bases loaded and 2 men out. This weekend's your last chance to enter to win an official 2021 World Series championship ring. All the proceeds benefit the Braves Foundation, which supports dozens of community organizations. Your entry starts at $21, and you can enter up to 10 times to increase your chances. Visit Braves.com/ring sweeps by midnight Sunday to enter here in Atlanta. Here's Tyler Thornburg. He's got a mess. Christian Yelich in the box, and the bases loaded, 2 out.
Well, you hate ever saying in the 6th inning this is the game right here, but you really need Tyler to get Yelich here and get your offense back out there.
Four walks from the Atlanta relief corps in the 6th inning, and an infield hit. On the ground, Ozzie dives. One play to second, thrown late, ball gets away, streaking around and coming home and scoring will be Colton Wong. So 2 more runs come in. Yelich makes contact. Ozzie gloved it, then threw late to second. And the Brewers have scored 4 runs in the inning. It's 6-2.
A good play by Ozzie. Calling for him. He couldn't get up, and then by the time he threw it, Adames with good speed. Ball kind of got stuck in Ozzie's glove, it looks like.
So a couple of ground balls that just didn't stick for Atlanta turned into a big inning. So it's a single and an RBI for Yelich. Wong comes home to score on the error. And first and second, 2 outs as Milwaukee has scored 4 times in the 6th inning. So 2 runs charged to McHugh. 2 runs so far belong to Matzek. Adames is his responsibility. Thornburg has to deal with Yelich. And now Andrew McCutchen, the 9th man to hit in the inning. 6-2, Milwaukee has the lead. And this one lifted in the air toward left center. Long run Heredia, and a step on the warning track or two makes the catch. And that will retire the side. The Braves walked 4 and 4 score. 6-2 Brewers.
Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Back in Atlanta, Chip and Jeff, Kelly Kroll with us as well. Disappointing start to Hank Aaron weekend at this point, but hey, another great one is here. Wayne Gretzky is enjoying the game here at Truist Park. Wayne Gretzky doing great work with our friends down the street at TBS for their NHL coverage. And so Eric Lauer now a 4-run lead. Dansby Swanson will lead off. Braves did not have a good 6th inning. The Brewers got 1 ball out of the infield, scored 4 times, didn't strike out once. On the other side of the coin, tough to win when you have 1 hit, so you got to improve on that.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting here, Lauer's been sitting for 31 minutes that half inning, so first 2 pitches seem to be okay.
I bet he was on the stationary bike, probably played catch in the cage right behind the dugout bench underneath the stands here. And he breezed through the 5th and now has a lot of room to play with. A 6-2 lead for the Braves' 9th place hitter, Dansby Swanson. 1-2. Acuna's on deck. And Swanson goes back to work and takes ball 2. Well, could Dansby come all the way back? It was 0-2 in the blink of an eye. Now he's got a 3-2 pitch coming.
I saw Olsen do that and draw the walk.
Nope, swing and a miss. Dansby's retired on strikes. That is 6 for Lauer. And the man that has the only hit in the game is Ronald Acuna Jr. And it was a blast, and boy, it was funny.
So Zaxby's in the scrabbly, good play, and Chip, this one should count for 2. Look where the ball went. Fell down, the ball 5-6 rows up. It's a good sign, though, for him. We saw the double the other day. I think the power's coming back now. And he looks like he's about ready to break out now.
Yeah, he had 19 at bats with Gwinnett.
Yeah.
And counting his 2 trips today, he's up to 27. So he's pushing toward 50 at bats.
Getting closer to, where he should be.
And the Acuna rules, if they were, have been bent a little bit. There was talk, look, he's not going to play first day back from a travel day, if you will. That went out the window in New York. Braves will still be cautious with him. My guess is, and it's only a guess, they could DH him tomorrow and then let him play in the field on Sunday with the off day Monday in this series with Milwaukee. 1-1 pitch.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see him back out in the field tomorrow night. Being another night game like that, and then, if you want to DH him Sunday, you can. If you want to give him the day off Sunday so he has 2 in a row. But I just think, look, at this point, he's so athletic. And he's showing he's healthy. So, yes, you want to take it slow. But at the same time, you need him in the lineup.
Yeah. He's a threat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, there aren't many. So, look, the Braves are up against the obvious long-term health and care of the kid versus the need to score some runs because they've been awfully tough to come by. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Ronald, bases empty. Strike 3 called. 7 strikeouts for Lauer. He didn't think so, and has a minor protest before he heads back to the bench. 2 outs. He's got a case.
Yeah, that ball's up and out. That's why sometimes that box, I know you see it on the TV, but as a hitter sometimes I don't think that tells the whole story of how, you know, the ball comes in. Hitters will tell you that.
Just ask Marcell Ozuna up in New York.
Yes.
Struck out on 3 pitches, none of which were strikes. So Matt Olson, the hitter, he's the man that picked up the first walk and scored the second run. Braves are down 4, 6-2. And again, this is a different Eric Lauer than we've seen in the past. He's throwing harder than I remember. And he's been very effective. Check swing, slow roller. And Adames at short will make the flip to first, and that will retire the side. The Braves have been set down in order in the last 2 innings, and we head to the 7th.
Continue to celebrate the life and legacy of Henry Aaron, and Atlanta Braves here auctioning off these Hank Aaron inspired bats created by local artists here to support the Henry Louis Aaron Fund. You can listen to how Hank's influence both on and off the field inspired the artists and their creations right there, guys. And the live auction is actually up and running right now. All you got to do is go to www.braves.com/buy now, and they will be auctioning these off tonight as well as tomorrow. Those are pretty darn cool.
Yes, they are, Kelly.
Yeah. I like those.
Well, let's see if Tyler Thornburg can calm down these Brewer bats. They are roasting hot. 4 runs in the 6th inning to break a 2-2 tie. Rowdy Tellez is coming up first, and that's in for a strike. 2-run double in the first for Tellez. Now 24 runs batted in on the season. He made the first out in the 6th inning. A little cue shot induced by Colin McHugh. Another soft ground ball. Olson's got this, and a quick feed for the first out.
Yeah, I think the tough pill to swallow last inning was McCutchen's fly out to end the inning was the only ball that got out to the outfield. So a little self-inflicted too with the walks, and then the ground balls. Renfroe, you know, if that ball's 3 feet to the right, might be a double play ball.
Might be out of it. Same with the Yelich drive. Hard hit. Ozzie just couldn't make a clean play to end the inning, and that cost the Braves another run. The lesson there, you put it in play, something good might happen. And it certainly did for the Brewers, who sent 9 to the plate. This is game number 28 of the year. And we're still waiting for the Braves offense to get rolling. Hasn't happened. At the moment, this is the 16th game where the Braves have scored 3 or fewer runs. 16 of 27.
Well, we talk about the long ball. We lead the National League in home runs. Problem is we haven't had anybody on. They've been solo shots, whereas we're used to seeing here 2-3-run homers that really change the scoreboard.
0-2 pitch for Urias. And this one's bounced foul, and that goes hand in hand with all the strikeouts. There haven't been many guys on base, obviously. And tonight, 7 more strikeouts in 6 offensive innings for the Braves and 1 hit. No balls, 2 strikes for Urias, the Brewer third baseman, hitting .364. And no offer at that pitch. Good try. It's 1-2. Good matchup here tomorrow night. Max Fried and Corbin Burns will meet in the second game of the series. Max has been on a great roll, and that was tipped. He was trying to get out of the way, and Urias had that tick the bat, and he's rung up for the second out. That's the old excuse me foul ball.
Yeah.
And Craig Counsell's going to come take a look and ask if this was tipped. Again, you can't review this. At least I don't think so. I don't think that was close to the bat. I mean,
oh wow.
I mean, not even close. You know what he heard? I think it looked from that angle like the bat might have hit the catcher's glove on the check swing. Maybe that's the tick he heard, but dude, there was no contact with the bat by the ball there.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You see Urias kind of looked like, huh?
First pitch swing, fly ball by Renfroe. That's skied out towards center field. Duvall is there. And Thornburg has a 1-2-3 7th. You know what that means, Jeff? It's time for the stretch, presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Fellas, take it away.
The stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural.
Up with the stretch, I agree. Spencer Strider's night is the highlight to this point. From the pitching standpoint, 8 strikeouts in 4 scoreless innings. They mentioned Ronald Acuna Jr.'s home run. That's also been fun to watch. That's the only hit. Now he needs some company.
Yeah, you need to try to find a way to get a couple guys on here. If you can get a couple back here, you put some pressure on that bullpen down there, and I think Craig Counsell's going to try to get Lauer through 7.
Riley, Ozuna, and Albies coming up. And a strike for Austin, who has struck out and walked tonight. That cutter is really buzzing. And on the hands of the Braves right-hand hitters, it's been a great equalizer with 7 strikeouts. And as good as this guy's been, everybody might say, well, what's wrong with you, Eric? You're not in double digits. He struck out 13 2 starts ago, 11 against the Cubs last time out.
He was punched. That 13, I think, was that Sunday night game against the Phillies.
Did Riley go? Nope. Close. 2-2.
I also might be pitching a little different because the last few years he's been in and out of the rotation, spot starts here and there. And you know, this year now he kind of knows every 5 days I'm getting the ball, kind of like a Kyle Wright.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 outside corner. That's 8 strikeouts. Riley's been caught looking twice. 1 away. Tell you what, Narvaez does a nice job behind the plate. That was a good pitch.
He was an all-star last year.
It was a good pitch, but he made that look a little better. Ozuna is 0 for 2. He's flat out twice. The great thing about baseball is if you have a bad day, you put it behind you and go back to work. The bad thing about baseball is if you're having a bad week, you got to keep playing.
Oh yeah.
And find your way out of it. Right now, that's been a real problem for the Braves offensively. This one's hit a mile high down the left field line. Plenty of distance, but pulled foul. And it's 1-2.
And that's what that cutter's made to do sometimes. We see Max Fried throw that kind of slider cutter in on righties. You can hit as hard as you want, but it's so hard to keep it fair.
That's way high for Marcel. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last time the Braves had double-digit hits was the wrap-up with the Cubs. They had 5 runs on 11 hits in that game. They have 1 tonight. In their last 7 games, counting tonight, the Braves have 24 runs and 39 hits. Pop fly back our way and just underneath the 3rd deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game was tied at 2 after 5 innings. A 4-run 6th for Milwaukee. Breaks it open. This one foul. Ozuna making a little more consistent contact here. Let's see if he can reach with an even count. Lauer ready, and here it is. Ozuna still alive.
Hey, putting up a good fight.
Yep. Brewers with their classic road grays brought back the old-fashioned logo a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The M and the B that looks like the baseball glove. And of course, they're wearing 44 on their uniform sleeves. For Henry Aaron, who starred for so many years with the Milwaukee Braves and then his final 2 major league seasons back in Milwaukee with the Brewers. The 3-2. That's outside. Ozuna takes ball 4. And that's the 3rd walk from Lauer in the game.
That was not that much different than the pitch he called Austin Riley out a minute ago. That one might have been a little bit farther outside. Good at bat by Marcel. Battled him.
First base runner for the Braves since the 4th inning. And there's a start. Let's see if Albies can crack one here and get the Braves to within 2. Atlanta has 8 outs left. And the Big Boppers will get to the plate at least one more time. But you know, Williams and Hader are looking for Milwaukee. As Ozzie contemplates this at bat, let's step aside for a word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
It's a long meeting here. Ozzie hit that ball off Lauer's foot in the 2nd inning. He was out on the ricochet to the 3rd baseman and then hit the sacrifice fly to center. That scored Matt Olson. Austin Riley was out trying to go from 2nd to 3rd on the 2nd out. And a double play ended that Braves threat in the 4th inning. Action begins in the Brewer bullpen with 1 out. It's Brad Boxberger who's starting to play catch.
That's why when we talked about that 6th inning, it was so big for the Brewers to get those runs with the back end of the bullpen. Same way for the Braves if they could have flipped the script.
Smoked up the middle, a base hit for Ozzie. Lauer mad, he thought he should have speared that. He couldn't. And Atlanta has a rally now, 2 on, 1 out. And Travis d'Arnaud, the Braves catcher, is coming up.
Yeah, Ozzie, the one guy that's really had a good night against Lauer. Smoked that ball in the second inning that hit off his foot. He had the sac flying now. The base hit up the middle.
Well, deep fly here, you pull to within one. And as you know, d'Arnaud has been a very consistent hitter for the Braves. He entered play tonight hitting an even 300.
I think that's going to be it for Lauer. 94 pitches.
94 pitches, 6 innings and a third. And he allowed a couple of runs and only 2 Atlanta hits. He's mad that he gave up the hit to Ozzie. Atlanta has life in the 7th, down 4. Check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Our Hank Aaron weekend festivities are underway. Everybody remembers and loves and sure misses Henry Aaron. The Hank Aaron figurine given out today before the ball game between the Braves and the Brewers. And of course, can't celebrate Henry Aaron without thanking and welcoming his lovely wife Billy to the ballpark tonight.
It's always so special when she comes to Truist Park, especially out hammering Hank now here. Hopefully we can have a comeback for her.
She'd love that. You know, Hank would love that too. He was the Braves angel in the outfield last year. And it is Brad Boxberger on to face Travis d'Arnaud. 2 on, 1 out. A 6-2 Milwaukee game. Their bullpen, as Jeff mentioned, has been excellent.
Yeah, it's been probably, well, the really pitching in a whole has been a huge strength for this team. Pitched yesterday against Cincy and tossed a perfect 7th with 2 strikeouts.
So d'Arnaud 0 for 2. See if the Braves can keep the line moving here. They have 2 hits. They have been given 3 walks. And that's strike 1. That's way outside. Remember, they had players weekend for the men in uniform on the field, and Brad Boxberger made Major League history a couple of years ago. He was the first player to have an emoji represent his last name. 1 ball, 1 strike. And downstairs. Instead of the script, he had a box and a burger.
Pretty good.
2 balls and a strike. Pop fly foul back toward us. And a fan from Canton, Georgia makes a great catch. Good feeling fans in Canton.
Made a great catch. Absolutely one-handed, I think.
Two balls, 2 strikes for the man selected as the April catcher of the month in the big leagues, Travis d'Arnaud. Good to see him healthy, swinging the bat well, working well behind the plate.
Yeah, we've talked about it this first 5 weeks or so. His bat speed to me is what's back too. Last year I felt like after that thumb thing he was getting beat with fastballs. Seen him this year able to get the bat head around on those pitches, square him up.
Missed the corner inside, 3-2. With 1 out, Ozuna walked. Ozzie Albies with a base hit up the middle to extend his hitting streak against the Brewers to 7 straight. Braves need 1 more runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Let's see what d'Arnaud can do here. 3-2. Little chopper, slowly hit, might be 2. There's 1. The flip to first is in time, a double play. And that ends the Atlanta threat in the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. We go to the 8th. Let's take a look at tonight's game summary presented by the Green Machine. This is a fun game through the 5th inning, but alas, things got out of control in the 6th.
Yeah, the walks really hurt, and from there, give Milwaukee credit. They didn't necessarily hit the ball hard, but they found the right spot, and they were able to put 4 on the board and really kind of flip this game in their favor with the back end of the bullpen. And you saw last inning what Boxberger could do. On the other hand, good thing for Ronald. You saw the home run. Hopefully that's coming. And that man, Spencer Strider, who I thought pitched outstanding today.
8 strikeouts in 4 innings for Spencer, and now we head to the 8th inning, where Narvaez, Kane, and Colton Wong are coming up. Tyler Thornburg, an inning and a third of 1-hit relief. And that's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, Fried and Burns. That'll be a lot of fun. Braves Live gets us kick-started at 6:30. First pitch 7:20. Burns part of a Brewers pitching staff last year, Jeff, that set 58 major league or team pitching records.
Yeah, they
2021. There's a bullet by Narvaez into right field. Acuna over. And Narvaez will stop at first with his first hit of the game. He's 1 for 3. 10 hits.
Good job by Ronald. I think he was trying to deke Narvaez to get him to go. And I think he smartly knows, yeah, I'll take my single. Right here, watch him kind of like, oh, go ahead.
You guys dream of that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I give him all the credit in the world. You try to deke him. Go.
So here's Kane. He bounced into the force out. Braves were unable to turn a double play that turned into the 3rd run for Milwaukee. So Kane up to 4 RBIs on the year. And lattice shifts for him. And a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Lorenzo was your teammate in Kansas City. He's had a terrific career.
He has. Look, he might never, have put the offensive numbers that they were hoping for. He went to Milwaukee, but he's always played great defense.
Double play ball, but Riley drops it and has no play. I mean, nothing is going right now for Atlanta. Nothing.
No, that was a tailor-made double play ball by a guy that is one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball. He had it going. Look, going with the momentum.
This team has done such a good job in seasons past of putting whatever's ailing them on that side of the baseball, right? If you're having trouble defensively, they come out and swing the bats and put together good at bats. But right now it's all just snowballing for the Braves. And Riley had a stretch of 70 some odd games with only 1 error at third base. He's picked up a couple here in the last week. And so instead of 2 out, nobody aboard, it's 2 on, nobody out. And the top of the Brewers order, Colton Wong, who's reached 3 times and scored twice. Again, the theme will be, and it's true, you have to just play your way through it. That in and of itself is very difficult to do. And when you factor in the caliber of the competition the Braves are going to be facing here over the next couple of weeks, which Jeff and I talked about in the open, that makes the challenge for the Braves even more difficult. They're not playing teams coming up that are not thinking about postseason play. We've got 2 series with the Brewers. Got the Red Sox. We got San Diego. We go to Miami. Then we see the Phillies and the Marlins again. And that gets us to the end of the month. So a much more difficult stretch on paper than what the Braves faced in the month of April. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And not close to Wong. 2-2. Braves were 10-12 in April. They're 2-3 so far in May. Full count for Colton Wong. Came back to get him. A swing and a miss. Wong expanded his strike zone. Thornburg has his second strikeout. And one away for Willie Adames.
Good pitch, good location. Might have been ball 4, but close enough that you got Wong to swing.
So you see Adames' line tonight. While many teams in baseball waited to make their moves at the trade deadline, the Brewers beat the market. They got Adames very early in the season last year, and as you said, Jeff, he really did change their entire campaign.
They got him towards the end of May and really took off for the Milwaukee Brewers.
And Tampa Bay made him available because they had Wander Franco available.
Yeah.
That's a luxury. He was acquired May 21st of last year. As he awaits a 1-1 pitch. Another guy that just needed a fresh start. Hit 197 with Tampa Bay in 2021 and then got traded and found Milwaukee to be his cup of tea. 2-1 pitch. Here it is. Smacked into left field, and Heredia's got it. And that is the second out.
It's the Friday night showdown. Brewers vs. Braves from Truist Park, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Indeed it is. We had quite a showdown through 5 innings tonight.
Yeah, we did.
But a 4-run 6th for Milwaukee has them in front in game 1 of the series. Christian Yelich, the hitter, he's got a couple of hits. And a run batted in.
Thank God I'm waiting for Val to give out.
Two on, 2 outs. Swing and a miss by Christian Yelich.
Yelich having starting to get some power surge too, having a bounce back season.
0-1 count.
Had a chance to catch up with him down there today. Played with him in Florida in 16. Great teammate, but he said he's first time he's really, for the most part, felt healthy in about 2.5 years.
I was going to say, this is a man that won the batting title in 2 years in the National League. The succeeding seasons, 205, 248, this year 247 in his age 30 year. He's behind quickly, 2 strikes. Realize that Christian Yelich coming into this game over 1,200 hits.
Oh yeah. Been going what, 6-7 years now.
Broke in with the Marlins in 2013 with 69 hits in 62 games. Did it go? Nope. His career high in hits, 187. That was set in 2018, his first year with Milwaukee. Hit 36 homers, 44 homers the next year, but only 35 homers in 20, 21, and 22 combined. That goes back to the injury problems that Christian has had. But when he's right, he's one of the game's terrific hitting stars. 2-2 pitch. That stayed high. And a full count. The runners for the Brewers will be moving in a 6-2 game. The former MVP in 2018, Christian Yelich. with 2 outs in the Brewers' 8th inning. Runners go. Little dribbler toward the mound, and Thornburg a nice pickup, and that'll take care of Milwaukee in the 8th inning. 6-2 Brewers, lower third coming up for the Braves in the 8th inning. Always fun to talk about exciting young prospects down on the farm, and Michael Harris is exactly that. He's reached base in all 25 games he's played for the Mississippi Braves at Double-A. Last count he had 16 runs, 9 stolen bases. He's hitting for power, left-handed kid, superlative defender. He is one of those youngsters at Double-A all across our sport that's knocking on the door and hopeful of getting his call to the show in the not too distant future.
He's off to a great start, and you know, we all know at some point he will be up in Atlanta, and you know, for him, you just keep playing.
Yeah,
you keep getting ABs, you keep getting better, and preparing yourself for when that phone does ring and your time's up here.
And obviously, when that time comes, you hope he comes and stays.
Well, and that's
back.
Yep, that's the whole thing of challenge of when you bring a guy up.
So this is Jandel Gustave, a former Pittsburgh Pirate. He's the 3rd Brewer pitcher in the game. He'll face Duvall, Heredia, and Swanson in the Braves' 8th inning. It's 6-2. We've got 6 outs left. Get your rally caps on, Braves country. We need you tonight. Let's take in for a strike. The Brewers bullpen, a .288 collective ERA. Broken bat. That's popped to the shortstop. And that's handled by Adames. Duvall over 3 and is out number 1. Which baseball movie is your favorite of all time? Well, that's a good question for Jeff. Hang on. Fill out your bracket at MLB.com/bleacher-features for a chance to win a Hollywood prize package, including tickets to the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard in L.A.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Okay.
For me.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Love Field of Dreams.
You?
James Earl Jones coming out of the corner and all that stuff.
And playing catch with your pops at the end.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I kind of like The Sandlot. You know, Brian McCann is a youngster starring in that movie. He's a check swing roller.
Oh man, I hope he's listening.
0-2.
Because that was you, not me, saying that.
Love you, B-Mac. I like Bull Durham.
Yeah, it's a good one too. It's a classic.
And we were talking about that on the plane ride home from New York. You were saying it's amazing how realistic Bull Durham truly is.
Yeah, in so many ways.
That was a great movie. The Durham Bulls. Back in the day, the Braves' former farm team. I mean, there's so many great movies about our sport. Bang the Drum Slowly, For the Love of the Game. The Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau.
Yeah, the old one.
The old one, not the new one. Mr. Buttermaker was the coach in his beat up Cadillac. The pitch. That's a close call.
It's amazing. These guys just keep coming out of the pen. 97, 98 with the fastball.
When we were in Dallas, there's a new movie coming out called Facing Nolan. Speaking of facing 97 plus. This one's rolled foul. Hey, good play by Wash. Kept it in front. Let's see if he'll challenge the net. He's a little too close.
He is not. Yeah. That's one guy that's not a fan of the Nets because he likes giving balls away to the fans. Now he's got to throw it real high over the net.
He had the arm to do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's upstairs for a full count. Braves need base runners any way they can get them. Guillermo Heredia looking for his first knock. The pitch. It's not to be. He's down on strikes. 9 Braves have struck out in the first 7 2/3 innings. And 2 are out for Dansby Swanson.
Good slider, 3-2 from Gustave. Guy's throwing 97, Peyton down, and he throws that 3-2. Tough.
Dansby 0 for 2. He struck out in the 6th inning. Braves have 2 hits tonight, an Albies single and Acuna homer. And nothing in 1. Go back to your love of the Field of Dreams movie. It's so great when Hollywood meets reality. One of the most popular games that Major League Baseball has put on in the non-traditional stadiums was the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, that was outstanding last year.
Pitch driven toward right. That's well hit. Back goes Renfroe. He will turn. That ball is off the top of the wall and on the bounce into the chop house. We've said it before, when he starts to do that, you start to think he's about to go off, and it does continue this nice stretch over the last 9-10 games for him.
I just didn't know if this ball was going to be high enough to get out of here. It's a beautiful swing with a sinker coming in, and he stays through it beautifully. You see right off the top.
So Dansby's second homer brings the Braves a run closer, and now it's 6-3, and things get a little dicier for Craig Counsell. And that's low and away. Old pal Flip Spiceland sent me a note. One more thing about Bull Durham. Opening scene of that movie in the opening credits. It's a baseball card stuck in the mirror. And Annie Savoy's room. You know who's on that baseball card?
I know.
Brian Snitker.
Really?
Yep. Check it out. Let's see if Ronald can homer again. He hit his first of the year, and it was an absolute missile over the Braves bullpen. Any doubts about his power, his strength? He took care of that in the 4th inning. One of the 3 Braves hits.
Over the bullpen, and then 5-6 rows deep.
Good cut, fouled straight back. And here is that homer in the 4th.
With the fall down. That is not easy to go over that bullpen opposite field. That's a good point, Luke. I don't know if Luke would look that graceful.
Wait a minute. Luke, he can't dog you like that. I've never seen a major league player hit a homer and do a somersault, but
no.
Hey.
No, hopefully, Luke, if you're at home, hope you're feeling better.
Luke's coming back from Tommy John surgery. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way. That's high. Another walk and a long one. We'd have a 1-run game. Right guys are coming up. Nobody up in the Brewers pen that I can see. Josh Hader's had some back trouble of late. Don't know if he's even available tonight. We hope to find out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. And Acuna and the Braves are done in the 8th. They get a Dansby Swanson opposite field homer to pull to within 3 runs. It's 6-3. Milwaukee leads it by a 6-3 score. 2 more solo homers for the Braves here in game 1. We invite you to follow the Braves on Bally with T-Mobile. More team coverage, full game replays and highlights. Braves baseball is streaming on the Bally Sports app, and that is presented by our friends at T-Mobile. 9th inning. Brewers will have the middle of their order coming up. Jackson Stevens will come on, and hopefully give the Braves a chance in the 9th inning, down just 3 runs. The Braves will have Olsen, Riley, Ozuna, and Albies scheduled to hit in what is a save situation at this point, should Craig Counsell decide to go deeper into his bullpen. Stevens is the 6th pitcher to work for the Braves tonight. It is a bullpen game started by Jesse Chavez.
The Braves have had some relievers coming up and down, but I'm telling you, this guy has done a really good job. He's been impressive, and you saw his numbers when he came in. You know, he's the one guy that really is stuck down there, Chip, that's not a regular bullpen guy that we see night to night.
2 runs in his last 8 innings
of
relief work. We'll take that. And like so many others in the Braves bullpen, look, tonight's game notwithstanding, throw strikes.
Well, that had some good run on that one.
He's only walked 3 hitters and is making his 5th outing here tonight in a 6-3 game. Wow. Oh, that was a strike not called. Jeff Nelson has had an in and out game. A couple of foul tips were called that weren't. And we've had a couple of pitchers staring in and wondering what was wrong with that pitch. He hit the glove.
Oh, man.
Can't throw it much better than that. And that's out of play by McCutchen, headed for the lower bowl. Into the Delta Club seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The newly remodeled Delta Club here in Atlanta. 36,307 the official crowd count. Friday night fireworks to follow after we hope for a big 9th inning rally. The 1-2 pitch. Somehow McCutchen got his hands through that pitch.
Ball was coming right at him.
Andrew McCutchen, terrific career, great ambassador for our sport on and off the field, a Roberto Clemente Award winner. A star for so many years with the Pirates, and strike 4 takes care of McCutchen. There's out number 1 here in the 9th inning. So McCutchen whiffs for the 2nd time of the game. He's 1 for 5. That was a nasty pitch.
That was a great pitch. That's what I'm saying. This guy keeps filling up the strike zone. Threw him a slider a minute ago and then took some off and threw a curveball in that pitch.
Rowdy Tellez having a great start to his season. Already 24 RBIs, a 2-run double. Adam Duvall chased to the wall in center and couldn't corral. And he goes the other way, skims that right down the line and beats the shift. And Heredia got to that ball in great shape and holds Tellez to a long single. That was terrific work by Heredia on a ball that was bouncing near the ball boy down the line.
Fantastic job, Rowdy. Not tremendous speed, but still this ball right down the line and kind of got stuck here, and great route, got it, got rid of it, and kept him first base, kept the double play in order.
So here's Urias, runner at first, 1 out. He's 0 for 3, has scored a run. 6-3 Milwaukee, can't give him any more. They've out-hit us tonight 11-3. It's not been the cleanest of games. The clubs have combined to make 4 errors. Craig Counsell has a very exciting club, as do the Braves. Chopper toward third. Riley's got that. thought about second, takes the sure out at first. Smart play. And 2 are out for Hunter Renfroe.
Before we get to Renfroe, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Hi friends, I'm Chip Carey, in between innings for Landmark More. Landmark's hitting it out of the park every day. That's why they're #1, because nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Here's Renfroe. He's got a couple of hits. His infield hit was a backbreaker in the 6th inning. After a 1-out walk, he guided a ball down the third base line. Austin Riley did everything he could to knock it down and throw him out. But he beat out an infield hit. And Tyler Matzik came in and had all kinds of control problems with 3 walks. Matzik was taken down by Thornburg. And after an infield hit by Yelich, the Brewers had scored 4 runs off 3 Braves pitchers. And that's been all the scoring for them in tonight's game. Braves have gotten homers from Acuna and Swanson. Their only other hit, an Ozzie Albies 7th inning single. And Jeff, you're right. Jackson's had a really good breaking ball tonight.
He does. You've seen he's got a nice 2-seamer on it, and then that curveball is just enough off that slider that it keeps these hitters off balance.
It's always fun to find guys. And Jackson was pitching in the Mexican League.
Yeah,
there's a scout everywhere, and the lesson is if you pitch well or play well, somebody's going to see you.
And then when you keep getting opportunities like this, you keep putting up zeros, and you know you're going to get more of an opportunity. And for him right now, that means sticking here and getting these opportunities.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tellez, a lumbering runner at second. The pitch. Evens the count. Renfroe waits, a 2-2 now. Waited on that breaking ball and whacks it toward left, but Heredia is going to catch it, and that'll retire the side. All right, Braves country, right guys are coming up. Olsen, Riley, Ozuna, Albies, and we hope more. It's a 6-3 Milwaukee game heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
The Braves are down 3 heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. They'll have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. 3 runs on 3 hits is the sum total of the offense tonight. And now, partner, they've got their hands full. One of the best closers in the game is on in Josh Hader, but it's been a while since he's been out there in relief for the Brewers.
It has, but you see those numbers. Probably the best closer in the game. 10 for 10 on saves, 4 walks, 15 strikeouts. Comes at you with that big fastball and the slider. You see second in the NL this season in saves. There's Kinley at 7 with 4. The big thing here is with the 6-3 lead, you got to get a couple guys on. So I think you can, you know, sometimes if it's 4-3 in this game, the thought process is home run to tie it up. You know, here you got to get a few runners on to give yourself a chance.
And in a situation like this, you wonder if rest means rust. We're about to find out. Hader's given up 2 hits all year, no homers. Braves need 2 base runners and somebody to pop one just to get it tied. But look, the Mets scored 7 runs in the 9th inning last night. Crazier things in our sport have happened. Let's see what Matt Olson can do here in the 9th inning. Last time Hader pitched on this mound, Freddie Freeman took him deep.
Yep. Opposite field home run.
I thought that was the moment where I think everybody really started to believe that this team had a serious deep run in them. Lefty, lefty.
Yeah.
Crowd going berserk. And just a remarkable moment that propelled the Braves to the championship last year. That just missed. Ball 2. For Matt Olson. What's the key to hitting Hader?
Well, for lefty on lefty here, it's not a lot of fun. For righties, you got to see the ball out over the plate because he tries to get that slider in on you sometimes. And the whole deal is, it's kind of like when I faced Dontrell Willis my first time. Struck me out 3 times. And I remember Chipper and those guys telling me, look, next time, look where the ball's coming out of. Don't look at all the body movement. Same thing kind of Hader. If you look, he really kicks and turns himself and you can get caught up. Look where that ball comes out of his hand. Because regardless of what he does, Chip, that ball's got to come out of that little location that you're looking at. So don't pay attention to the late kick and the turn.
So Matt's going to see a 6th pitch here, full count. And Hader delivers high fly ball center, but that's going to settle in the glove of Lorenzo Cain. Olson a good battle, but he's the first out in the Atlanta 9th.
So those back spasms. Hasn't pitched in 9 days. Looks pretty good to me though. Velocity's still there, 97, 98.
The April reliever of the month, 10 for 10 in saves, no runs, 15 strikeouts in 9 1/3 innings.
He's so valuable. You just don't see that from the left side too much.
There are only 5 pitchers in baseball history to go 10 for 10 in saves in their first 10 appearances. Hader's one of them. Lee Smith, Jose Mesa, Mark Davis, and Rod Beck are the others. This one's down the line, and the fact that he's left-handed, I think, is another extremely valuable weapon.
Well, and then with Boxberger, Williams, other guys in their bullpen, Craig Counsell has been able to utilize him as a closer. Whereas 2-3 years ago, remember, he was pitching 2 innings sometimes, not pitching for 2 days. So now he's their guy in the 9th inning.
And the left-handedness of it. First the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3. That's right down Broadway. Riley has struck out 3 times. And the Braves are down to their last out. You think about the pre-DH days when you'd bring on a Matt Stairs or an Eric Hinsky off the bench.
Yeah.
That really handcuffs an opposing manager with that left-handed thumper.
Some of them, yeah. But you just see what he can do. I mean, sliders kind of out over the plate, and then 98, a little bit in, top of the zone. You're just not ready. I mean, not ready for it.
So the Braves have struck out 11 times in this game. Ozuna's popped out twice and walked once. And all of a sudden, whatever rust Hader had,
he's looking okay.
Yeah. Fried Burns tomorrow night, 7:20 first pitch. Braves live at 6:30. Speaking of Braves live, Trevor and the guys will wrap things up from our Plaza set. And that's presented by Xfinity as the Brewers an out away from a series opening win. Now they're a strike away.
Now, you definitely don't make it easy on yourself when you take 2 fastballs like that.
The 0-2 pitch for Ozuna. Good cut there. Brian Snitker and company will search for offensive answers with Max Fried on the mound tomorrow night. Braves have 3 hits and 11 strikeouts in total tonight. And another 0-2 pitch from Josh Hader is on the way. Had him off stride, popped up. That's over by the Brewers on deck circle. And Ozuna. We'll see another one here. Again, the 0-2. Just a little low.
Changeup. First changeup of the night.
That's almost unfair. I used to say the same thing about Billy Wagner. He threw a fastball and a slider. If he ever threw a changeup, nobody'd ever hit him ever.
No, but you almost wonder sometimes if he'd be doing you a favor because it's his third best pitch. That's the hard thing sometimes when you're a closer like this. You know, you have these two dominant pitches. If I get beat with that one.
Tough to look at the mirror. Well, Ozuna's making him work here. Hader about to throw his 16th pitch. It comes with 2 outs. And it's on the ground towards short. Adames, nice pick. Strong throw. Adames can't dig it out. And the game will continue. Well, you never know.
Hey, get one more guy on you. At least give yourself a fighting chance. To say that was a pretty darn good AB by Marcel.
Tellez tried to keep the bag, just couldn't reach far enough. We'll wait for the scoring. And the other side effect of this is, after the E6, the third error of the game for Milwaukee, is Hader has to throw a few more pitches. And if somebody else can reach a few more after that, you don't know what effect that'll have on him going forward. As Ozzie is the hitter, he's the only Brave with a hit that didn't leave the ballpark tonight. That was a 7th inning single. He also drove in a run with a sac fly back in the 4th. As he still has a long hitting streak against the Brewers, he'll take that into play tomorrow. And he's quickly down 0-2. Ozzie ordinarily kills left-handed pitching. He's had a handful of really good games against them, but hasn't gotten as hot as we're used to yet. And this is a tough guy to heat up against. Josh Hader. And the 0-2. Popped up. Urias in foul ground right by Ron Washington. He's on the warning track, and that's going to do it. The Brewers have taken game 1 of our 3-game weekend series. They beat the Braves 6-3. The Braves had just 3 hits in the game, struck out 11 times, and fall, Jeff, to 12-16 on the year with the Mets idle. They're now 7 games back in the division.
And the 6th inning unraveled, unfortunately. Spencer Strider, I thought, did a great job coming in, giving 4 scoreless. Ronald Acuna with his first big fly of the year, which was a big one, but unfortunately for the Braves, the bullpen tonight in that 6th inning just couldn't keep it. And with that bullpen that the Brewers had, it was too much.
Well, hopefully Max Fried will be the equalizer tomorrow, but they've got to deal with Corbin Burns, and hopefully Atlanta's offense will be ready to rock and roll in the middle game of our 3-game series. We'll talk all about that and more beginning at 6:30 with Braves Live as Atlanta and Milwaukee meets in game 2 of their 2022 season series. For Kelly Cole, for Jeff Francoeur, I'm Chip Carey. We thank you for joining us. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next. Final score in Atlanta tonight, 6-3 Brewers. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.